Guys, welcome back. My name is Vasil and I'm restoring and living on this Columbia 1974 sailboat. In this episode, I'm getting used to living on this sailboat, and this one needs quite a lot of everything. So in the meantime, I think this is a good opportunity for me to continue my organization with my tools and everything else that I need to make my workflow much better. So let's jump into it.
Yeah, this is a good start. I'm going to start with these. Here's what I am thinking. So I have 5 of these chargers. That's a lot of chargers. No, these are not the rapid chargers. These are the standard Milwaukee chargers. So they don't charge that fast. It probably takes like over an hour to get one of these 6 amp batteries up to speed. And I really know I'm not going to use all 5. That is overkill. However, in the lieu of the moment, since I'm getting organized, what I'm thinking is they don't have to be on all the time. They could just literally just hold the batteries. So I can have 5 batteries sitting in these chargers against the wall, which is where I'm thinking about putting them, and save me some space, because obviously I still need space for the chargers. They're gonna go somewhere. So why not kill 2 like birds with 1 like stone and put all the chargers with half the batteries on this wall? Should be a relatively easy grid setup. So they're at 6 inches by, what is that, 7 inches. So 6 by 7, with the holes on the back being spaced out at 4 inches or 102 millimeters. So I just have to make a grid on this wall so I can mount everything that I need to mount. I don't know how to make things level on the boat yet, though. So how do you guys make things level on the boat? Because this table, it's not level. I mean, I can see where that line is. I guess I could use that line for reference. That's probably what I'm going to do, is use that line right there for reference. Because I know this table is out of level, but maybe that line is not out of level. Let's get to drawing that grid and mounting these in. And I feel kind of weird because I've talked so much shit about these flathead screws. And guess what? I've taken enough things off the boat that were using these flathead screws, and I am now about to use these same flathead screws, which I've talked so much shit about, to mount these chargers on that wall. What goes around comes around. I just realized how many tools I'm missing. I gotta make a list of like all the tools that I need to buy and bring on this boat, because I don't have a carpenter square. So I was like, how am I gonna do this without a carpenter square? What I do have is some square cardboard. So I'm gonna make a stencil of the back of these chargers and cut it out, so then I can use that line on the wall and this square stencil to hopefully mount these how they should go. There we go. So put this on here, and we're gonna trace it. But the one thing I've done is I've left 3/8 worth of cardboard on the bottom because of the drop. So if we take a look at the back of this, when I put the screw in, it's gonna drop. So 3/8 is the measurement I figured out that I need to leave for clearance. So let's cut this out. Got my stencil. Let's line it up with my marks for the holes. Okay. Oh, make sure I can see that, and just repeat the process. So we're just gonna go down the line, make sure everything's lined up. There's my holes. Time to put these flat head screws in there. I can't believe I'm saying this. Yeah. Yep. Flat head screws. That's what I get for talking so much spank on these screws. Let's see if I did a good job measuring them. I don't know if you guys struggle as much with this as I do. Why is the button let in? One of you won't go in. It will take a couple of tries to get the depth right so that it's not wobbling, and usually
really doesn't matter how deep they are if you're in a garage, because you're not going to get that much wobble anyway. But we're on a boat, so it's going to wobble a lot. Depth number 2. See if we got the right depth on the screw. And again, I'm struggling with this. Oh, that's like so close. You hear that? I probably could go another quarter turn, maybe half a turn. We'll see. It might sabotage me. I gotta get rid of this fire extinguisher holder. That was great. That really does. Got an army of chargers, and yeah, gotta figure out how to run these wires. That's gonna be a jumbled mess. But first, to celebrate, let's put some batteries in there. This is gonna be great. Gonna have all these batteries sitting the way they should be sitting. There we go. There we go. This is starting to look like a workstation indeed. Look how much power we have. I don't know how much we could power with this, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot. It's at least 5 Milwaukee tools. I know that for sure. But yeah, very happy with this setup. Everything's clean against the wall, out of my way, and in reach. Before, I used to have to store my batteries and all my other tools. I had these top drawers. That's like where all my batteries used to be, and all my accessories and other tools. So it's nice to finally have a dedicated space for where my batteries are stored and perhaps tools. So I would like the tools to be on here. I'm not sure what our issue with this window is yet, because this thing still does leak, even if it's not raining. You know, on a day where it's got a good amount of condensation outside, I probably will see some precipitation here. So I'm not sure how I'm going to solve that issue yet, which is why I put the batteries here. So much better. Wires are all run underneath and to the side. So some of them are bundled, some of them are not. I think what I'm going to end up doing is behind this door, placing the inverter with a power strip. That way, all of those wires can just go directly behind there, and there's plenty of room right there for all of the power setup that I need temporarily. So that's great. That's great. That's actually one of the reasons I put the desk here, not only because it fits almost like a glove, but also because behind here is a perfect location for temporary power station. It's a little bit overwhelming in the beginning because there's so much to do, so you kind of have to pick one thing and then do that, and sometimes you can't always finish it completely. So I got these batteries figured out, but I don't have any attachments for my tools. So I think the tools are gonna have to wait. I'm gonna have to figure out what system I'm gonna need to mount all of the hand tools that I have. Really, the organization system that I have right now is extremely rudimentary. So I just thought about it, and this is what it is. My system is like this. If I see something and in my head I have a place for it, I go ahead and tackle that right then and there. If I don't have a place for it, it just stays where it is at the moment until I figure out a place for it, or it's going in the trash. So it's a very rudimentary system, but at least it's going to help me organize much faster, because if I know something's going to have a place, just do it then. Like immediately, just put it in its place, and then that way at least it's out of your way, it's out of your head, and you can move on to the next thing. Here's what I'm thinking of doing next. I have these lights. You guys may have seen these from before. These are 4-foot LED lights that do run on 110, and I 100% agree with a couple of you that mentioned that I should go with a 12-volt system. Yes, I absolutely should. A 12-volt system would be highly efficient, so I don't have to use my inverters. However, in the name of progress, again, I'm trying to get organized as fast as I can, and to design a 12-volt system, get 12-volt lights, hook everything up. For temporary purposes, right now is just not as efficient as I want it to be. And after monitoring my batteries with just the one solar panel, I'm able to get the full charge every single day. So these lights are not draining me as much as I thought I would. It's actually not the lights, it's the inverter that's doing most of the draining. So what I'm thinking about doing is putting these lights up here, 2 of them, I think. Oh, 2 of them might not work. So maybe just 1. So put one light, maybe forward space right here, so that I have the light that I need on my desk, and also just so I can keep this boat lit at night when I need to use it, because that Milwaukee light is great, but having to set it up every single time, move it around, is just a pain in the ass. So let's just go with, again, a temporary solution and put up one of these lights. To get to these lights, I gotta move my chair, and I am actually quite happy about this. So I put the wheels back on. So when I put this chair in, I had taken the wheels off because I thought this thing was gonna slide around in the waves, and it does not. It stays where it's supposed to stay. Like, I still might need to put a bungee cord in this, but seriously, so much better, because this is a lot easier to move than it not having wheels. Okay. Upon second, maybe third thought, here's what I'm thinking. I'm like, don't do temporary work 2 or 3 times. So that location, this specifically right here, is going to be so close to the desk that if I'm sitting here doing work, it's going to be blaring me in the face because the light is going to be so close. Instead, here's what I actually should do, because again, another problem is this light is not going to provide that much illumination into this portion of the boat. Here's what I'm thinking. Put the lights along the ceiling. So I could put 2, 3, maybe 4 lights along the ceiling, and then light up everything, because again, they don't take up a lot of energy, and I should get enough ambient light on the desk as well for any time I have to do work. So I actually think that's a much better idea. So I'm gonna game plan this for a second and let you guys know what I decide. First step is to measure this width. So that's about 33 1/4. If we divide that by 2, 16 5/8. So 16 5/8. So now I'm going to make a mark from the edge at 16 5/8. These lights, another 4 foot, but they're actually 46 inches long after measurement. So I'm going to cut that in half at 23 inches, and then make a mark at 23 inches. Next, I'm going to skip back those 2 marks that I made 2 inches, so I can mount the clamps to mount this light and not have it run all the way at the edge. So the mark that I just made, I'm going to go back 2 inches towards center, and that's going to be the point for my clamps. The hardware that comes with these lights, the screws, are too long. So I'm actually pretty tired of telling you guys that what I have is too long. But luckily, I found these screws in my disposal pile that should work for these mounts. This is what they look like. So they're like little snap-ons that this lamp is going to be held in. And really, at this point, I just need to go to the hardware store and get Phillips screws in various lengths, so that if I'm mounting something along the walls or in the fiberglass, I know what length I need, and I can just standardize all my sizes and just start packing those bolts, because this is annoying. Anytime you want to mount something, you have to go through the trash pile to figure out, do I have the screws? Using 21st century technology, I've mounted a depth gauge. No, it's just painter's tape on a drill bit, but that's how you do it when you don't have a depth gauge. Then you just screw in the mounts. Let's see if this contraption works. There we go. Look at all this light. Look at all this light. It's so much light. This is amazing. Yeah, 3 of those LED lamps can light this thing up like no one's business. This is amazing. It's really giving me enough ambient light. That's dinner, guys. I got cashews, plantain chips, cheese, and grapes.
That's what dinner on a boat looks like. But seriously, look at all this light. This really is going to save me a lot of effort moving that Milwaukee lamp. I mean, this environment is just so much better. And what I've done, so let me show you guys how the lights run. This is how they run, and they attach into one another. So this is the last one in the series. It attaches to this one, and then that one attaches to this one, and then that one goes to the outlet. So I've ran it in this location because this is where I'm going to do my power source. So all of these outlets for the battery chargers, like I said, are going to end up behind this door, where I will have an inverter, so I can run this to the same location. Because the idea here is try to avoid too many points where I need to plug stuff in. Like, I really just need a couple outlets to charge stuff, but for the most part, there's no need to wire this like a regular boat yet, until I figure out how I'm gonna restore it. Time to enjoy this boat like a boat. It's nice to have some time on a daily basis where this is now a reality. So put in a lot of work for my regular job, came on the boat, got some decent work done. I have these amazing lights. My batteries are well stored and easily accessible. This is making some progress. I'm happy to see where this is going. So guys, if you enjoyed this episode, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a like, and I'll see you in the next episode.